of the scriptures you're going to be looking at this week is Proverbs 6, verse 16 through 19. But before you do that, I have a question for you. My question is this: are there certain words at your house that you are not allowed to say? Words that are just off limits because they're unkind? Well, one of the words at my house that my kids aren't allowed to say is the word hate. I don't like that word. I don't want them to say, "Mom, I hate the dinner you made." Or I don't want them to say, "I hate the gift I got. I hate my sibling right now. I hate this homework I have to do." Hate is not a word we use in the Sanders household. I'm guessing there are words in your household that you're not allowed to say. Well, in today's scripture that we're going to be studying together, it says the word hate. But God always trumps Kristen. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what it says, and let's learn together. I'm going to be in Proverbs 6, verse 16 through 19. There are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 things he detests: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, hearts that plot evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in a family. Here's why the word hate totally makes sense in this scripture. As a mom, there are certain things I hate. I hate when I watch unkind people hurt each other. I hate when I see the way that sin impacts our world, and it's always in a sad way. The word hate makes sense here, that God's saying there are things that God hates. He hates them because they hurt us. He hates them because he knows how they mess everything up. Someone who has haughty eyes, they're looking around and they're noticing everyone else and they're confident they're better than them. That hurts friendship. Or a lying tongue, someone who's dishonest. You can't believe them because they twist the truth, or they only give you part of the truth, or they just totally leave out the truth. That hurts friendships. That hurts us. God's not okay with it. And as the list goes on, it's just more things that God hates because he watches the way that they impact us, the way they hurt us, the way they hurt others. So as you're journaling about this scripture this week, I'm interested to know what stands out to you. I think what stood out to me is that of all the things God could have chosen to put on this list, all of these are sins in which we hurt each other. That really stood out to me. That really upsets God. Sins in which we hurt each other. The question I have, because I always want you to ask, what question does this bring up? In verse 16 it says there are 6 things he hates, 7 things he detests. And then I used to be an English teacher. I'm guessing that has something to do with the poetry in this proverb, but what? What's it trying to point out? What's the big deal? I don't know. I need to figure that out. And of course the number 3, what I always want you to ask is the now what? What difference does this truth make in your life? For me, it reminds me that my relationship with God is more than just the way I relate to God. My relationship with God is impacted by my relationship with other people. And if God isn't okay with these things, pride, lying, hurting others, sowing discord, then I can't be okay with those things. If they're a big enough deal to God that he uses words like hate and detest, then they need to be a big deal to me as well. So, as you read this week, remember, you always have 3 jobs. Read it and pray over it, and then here are your 3 questions. Number 1, what stands out? Number 2, what question do you have now that you've read this scripture? And number 3, what difference will this scripture make in your life tomorrow? Journal it out. I'd love to hear what you find out, and we'll see you soon.